Hello Gemini, thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. I don't know why it's like glaring all over the place, but there you go. Supportive Oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. I think as the sun went down and now maybe it was glaring the whole time and I just didn't realize it. Sorry. Alright, already shuffled. What do we have for Gemini? One, two, three. Okay. All right. So I like how this looks for you, but like how are we getting over there? It starts off with strength on your side. And now the strength is like you're dealing with this person. It doesn't have to be a female, but it's somebody who's very passionate and very direct is what I'm getting. They don't like something, bam, you know it. It's not a mystery. It's not a mystery in any sense. If they don't like something, it's very harsh is what I'm getting. This can be a little bit of stress for you because sometimes I feel like you need to explain things a little more, but they cut you off at the pass and they don't give you a chance. That's kind of what I'm feeling with this. And one of the reasons I'm saying that with these two is because between you, you've got the Ten of Swords, and I feel like that's kind of why you have the Ten of Swords with this person right now. How this starts off is like you're trying to explain, you're trying to work with it, you're stuck with this energy. It's not allowing you to really fully explain what you're thinking or what you're doing. Because of that, that's why you got the Ten of Swords, because you're not allowed to really explain, and you need a minute to really explain what's happening here and how things are going to develop and why this would work and why that would work. But I feel like you're getting shut down too early. And this person they just don't seem to believe in you. In the beginning, I just don't feel them believing in you. But you have the Strength card. It's kind of like, when I feel the Strength card on your side, you're almost like motivated to like wait your turn in a sense. Kind of like my moment will come. They will see. I'll get my moment. I will get my moment. That's as best I can get with it right now. Because it's like, you're not willing to give up. For some reason, you're not willing to just back down and be like, well, I guess this is how it is. But you're not going to fight a losing battle. You're like, well, that's okay. I'll pull back my forces for now, but the moment will come and I will have my say, because I almost feel like what you're trying to explain is you're trying to help avert a problem. They don't want to listen, or whoever you're dealing with doesn't want to hear it. They're cutting you right off. Sorry, the dogs wanted to be known. Guys, come on. Feral. This is what's coming next. They'll stop in a minute. I'm sorry. Guys, come on! Come here. One moment. Sorry about that. Alright, back into it. Okay, so this person isn't letting you explain, or these people. But this comes in, the change comes in. Now, how is this coming in? I almost feel like somebody's getting kind of pushed out in a way. It's like something kind of broke through, something didn't work out as expected, and someone else is kind of being pushed to the side as if, they were supposed to have control, they were supposed to have answers, and they didn't. There's not really a card matching with this, because I don't feel like this is directly happening to you, but it will affect you going forward, because the change is coming first, which is also going into the Wheel of the Year next. Which is also it's the Wheel of Fortune. That's how I treat it in this deck. So I feel like when they're saying this change that happens first, it's detached from you. It's not directly happening to you, but it will affect you. Somebody seems to be called out, like they were supposed to have something under control and they didn't. And they were supposed to do this or they were supposed to do that, and there's something they fell short on. I do see like you being asked what to do about it. Like you seem to be a part of the aftermath. Kind of like trying to figure out either what to do next or what went wrong. For most of you, it's going to be like a meshing of the two. You have the King of Swords energy, which means now they want to hear you. Whoever this is, now they want to hear you because now they're in knee deep. They're in knee deep and they're like, before I get hip deep, what do you see? This person at this point is not seeing your value yet, though. Be aware of that. They're not understanding like how strong your mind is and how many angles you're able to see. So I feel like you got to kind of baby talk this a bit. Like you have to dumb it down a lot. Not to be like not in a rude, but like your mind is there's too much going on. You can't just put it out there and expect them to be able to connect the dots. You got to slow it down. You have to say it very, like you're talking to like a 12-year-old. Some 12-year-olds are very smart, but you know what I mean? The attention span is not always there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to like get it down to that level. I don't know. You have to bring it down. I hope that doesn't sound insulting because I'm not wanting it to. But it's kind of like somebody who doesn't understand advanced physics trying to explain advanced physics to somebody who's just going through like starting calculus, I guess, if that makes sense. Like they just don't have what it takes to really keep up with that conversation. So you got to really dull it down a lot and like walk them through it by their hand, because you're going to have this King of Swords energy where you have the floor. You got to make the best use of it you got. And I feel like you're very strong here. This is like your moment. This is where the wheel turns, and it turns in your favor. But the thing is, there is going to be some adversity to it. I feel like it depends on how well you explained it to this person, how much you're going to have to deal with. Because I feel you explaining things and saying, this is what should happen next. This is your best option. I feel like you literally have to say that. If you expect things to go your way, you have to literally put it like, this is the next option. You may see more than one way to go around this, but if you want things to go your way, you have to go, this is the option. You got to do it, because if you give this person like more than one way to go, you're going to lose them. Because what's coming on the other side is the Three of Wands with the Knight of Wands. Another decision has to be made, and it has to be made quickly. If you tell them what way to go, I feel like you're going to get what you want. If you give them options, it could be a wild card situation. It literally could be a wild card situation. If you want to have control of this, you need to choose and give that option, say this is the way to go, and just hold on for it. Just hold on. Because I'm seeing a decision is trying to be made very quickly. It's been decided that it needs to be made really quickly. So it's like they've already made the pre-decision that we need to make this decision quickly. You know what I mean? You're going to have to come back and reinforce your viewpoint. Stick with one path. I know you can see many different ways. Pick the best one, stick with it, and just keep with it. This is how you're going to get what you want. You have to keep with it. This person isn't going to work well. If you throw the wild card thing out there, like, well, there's this, that, or that, you're just kind of like spinning the wheel, and it's going to land where it lands. You can choose where it lands, but you have to just give one option, say this is where to go. If you're able to do the one option thing, because I know that seems like, for some reason when I'm saying it, it feels like it's a hard thing to do, just to say this is the option, this is what you need to do this, and just hold to it. The more you're able to keep it at least to one, if you have to do more, the minimal, the least amount is best. Even if you have a few going down the same direction, I'm like the less you have, the better. Because fear is coming in, and it's going to depend on how many options you put out there. I literally feel like if you give them 10 options, there's going to be a lot of like, what do we do? Where do we go? What do we do? Like, if you give 2 options, I still feel people are going to be torn, and you might have a problem there. But if you have to give 2 or 3 options, then that's what you have to do. If you can hone it down to one and stick to it, this is a lot less. And you can just concentrate your energy here. You can, give your reasons why this is the best, and just keep pushing it forward. Because no matter what happens, a decision has to be made quickly. It needs to be made quickly. And what I'm getting is it will. It literally will. The Ace of Wands is coming up. For you to have control, pick the best option. Hold to it. Stick to it. It may be hard because it's like, especially with Gemini. Gemini is very intelligent. And the thing is, you may say, well, today this is the right one, and you're holding to it. Then you're like, oh no, I got more information. Don't change your mind. That might be hard. That may be the hardest thing. Like, oh, there's more information. I kind of think this other one might be better. This is still good, but that might be better. You got to stick to the same, because if you start wavering a little bit, that's how they're going to look at it, like you're wavering. That's going to be more fear. It's going to be more stress you're going to have to deal with. Pick one, Stick to it. It's less stress on you. Do what you feel is necessary. If you're okay with it, then you're okay with it. But that's what I'm getting from this, because an option will happen. One will be chosen quite quickly. You're not literally choosing it in the sense you're saying, if you're saying do this, I do believe that's how it's going to go, but somebody else is giving the green light. Somebody else is saying, let's do it. Karma is being created from this moment. From this moment, karma will be created. I really feel like you're going to be listened to. I just highly, highly, highly recommend just going to the one. I know that's hard. I feel like that's a lot to ask, but that's where you're going to get the strongest response. This is where you're going to get your strongest, this is going to work out the best for you. No matter what way it works out, if you hold it to one spot and keep it there, I just feel the energy flows with you better, and it's more accepting of you going forward, and it's more reliable for you going forward. Like, this energy around you is more respectful of you. Right or wrong, that's how I feel it's coming forward. When this happens, either way, I do feel like the action taken next is attributed to you in one way or another. So if you say this is the way we should go and you just stick to it, I do feel like that's how it's going to go. It's a lot stronger for you that way. The payback later is a lot stronger for you. If you gave a few options, so just divide that by 1. Like, if you gave 3 options, you're going to get a third of that strength back. If you divide it by 10 options, you're going to get a tenth of that strength back. You see what I'm saying? So I would just, again, keep it to 1, because it's going to happen. You're going to get some recognition from this. Action will happen. In the future, when I'm seeing the action repeat, I'm getting this is not the beginning, because the beginning is way back here, where, you know what I mean, where the Ace of Wands is. Later, the action repeats, and people are talking it over, and they're crediting certain people for having contributed to this success, okay? Ace of Cups. People are very, very happy with how things turn out. Very happy. And if you're reviewed in the sense of, like you said, this is how to go and this is the way they went, you're getting a lot, this is really, really paying off for you very, very, very well. Again, if you gave 3 options, you're getting a third of that credit. Because someone's going to say, well, they said this, that, or that, and we decided what one we wanted the best. Instead of you being seen as that person who really, said this is what we need to do, you were the one that gave options, and somebody else had to sort it out for you. Is that really fair? Because I don't think it is. So think of it that way, because the Ace of Cups is coming. You will get recognition, but don't you deserve all the recognition if it's your idea, not for nothing? Keep it on 1. You know what I mean? Get the credit that you deserve. Because I'm seeing other people will have adversity against you. So people are going to try to pull on some of that. They're going to want some of the credit for themselves. They're going to want to pull as much of that for themselves as they can. If you said one option and stuck to it, they really can't say much about that. But for example, even if you just gave 2 options, they will play that to their own advantage, and they will get credit for this where maybe they didn't earn it as much as you did. Just keep that in mind. Because this credit that you're getting, this is the 7 of Pentacles, you'll get credit for it at that moment, but it's going to pay off later, because you're going to be called on later again to do the same thing. And the more, and I really feel this for the Geminis or the people who do this or have that Gemini type feel at the moment, the more you decide what that last resort, you have to decide what the best option is and just push that one. You may see a lot of different angles, but if you want control of this, if you want to have the most payoff for your decisions, you can have as many thoughts inside with yourself as possible. You can even have a couple select few people you'll bounce off ideas with. But when you pass it over to the person who's going to make that final call, you got to choose one and stick to that one. You will have that power. You will have that payoff. And the more you're able to do that, the stronger you get, the more control you get, the happier you'll be. I feel that's good, because I think you completely understand what I mean. You can have as many different angles, but when it comes to saying what needs to happen next, choose one, stick with it. It will pay off for you so much better. I just don't feel like it's fair when a Gemini gets kind of pushed to the side because they show all possibilities and allow somebody else to see all these possibilities. And then it just kind of they look at you like you're wishy-washy or something, or like you're too scattered. I don't think that's fair, because you do have the capability to do this. So if you just keep that in mind, maybe there's certain people you can bounce things off of, but when it comes down to the wire, we need to make a decision, You choose which one is the best. Even if you're not completely confident with it, if you just pick the one that you think is the best outcome, the best possible outcome, even if it's between the top three, like all three of these are like equal, flip a coin if you got to, or just roll a three-sided die. Is there a three-sided die? There's not a three-sided die. There's a four-sided die. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Choose, just even if it's a random choice, just like, this one. If that's what you're doing, then do that. Because if you push force to that choice and you hold with that one choice, you get full credit for it, and that is fair. That's what you deserve. Take it. Let it be yours. Anything else? I think we're good. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.